Hi everyone, my name's Ashley, and as many of you know, I got engaged last year in December, and I've been in a long distance relationship with my fiance for 3 years now. He lives in Perth and I live in Melbourne, and we were planning on getting married this year in June. But now that there's a coronavirus pandemic, what are we going to do? So many people have been asking what we're going to do in this situation, and we have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G at this point because we honestly don't know what's going to happen. Now, a quick disclaimer before I move on. Yes, I understand that there are people out there who have it way worse than I do. I'm in no way, shape or form trying to pretend I'm the only one in the world affected right now. Now, this is in no way a struggle Olympics. It's not a competition about who has it worse. I think everyone is justified in feeling ticked off and upset about what this pandemic means for them. So don't bother coming at me saying that, oh, this is such a first world problem, this is happening to everyone kind of thing. Like, I know, but I'm justified in being upset because I've been planning this for like 10 years and I've been waiting for this specifically for 3, and I can have empathy for other people while still having a pity party for myself. So that being said, our original plans. So for our church, weddings are typically done in our temples. So what happens is basically we believe that if we are sealed together in our temples, that it's not till death do us part, we're actually, married for time and eternity. So you can do it separately where you have the licensed civil marriage outside of the temple and then have the sealing later. But we decided to just have the licensed marriage in the temple during our sealing and then have the reception after that in Perth. So I have been planning a wedding interstate, which is already a lot of stress on its own, and I was going to make a video about it, but that has to wait for the moment. So basically now, because as of today, the 20th of March 2020, the Australian government not only has put a restriction on indoor gatherings of 100 people or more, you're not allowed to have that, it has to be 100 or less. It's now also, you have to have a 4 square meter radius between each person. So in a venue the size of mine, we definitely would not be able to fit our 80 guests, and it wouldn't be very much fun having everyone separated from each other like that. So at the moment, it's looking like it's not really viable to have our reception, which is quite sad, but I have thought of a plan B that kind of makes it a little less awful. So thank goodness our wonderful reception are super understanding and allowing everyone to postpone if they need to, free of charge. So if we want, we can just change the date. It is a little tricky because people have bought flights from Melbourne to fly over to Perth, but even then a lot of these flights are being cancelled, so that in and of itself is very tricky to deal with. So what we're thinking of right now is pretty much taking our power back from the universe. We're not going to let it keep us apart any longer, because getting married after June, when we've already been planning and waiting so long for, is just at this point not doable. We physically cannot deal with the distance any longer. So what we're planning on doing is right now Jarom is actually applying for jobs here in Melbourne, and the second he gets one, hopefully it's soon, he will move straight over and we will just get civilly married and we'll just elope pretty much. So eloping, that itself presents some challenges. A lot of places right now are not handing out marriage permits because of the virus. So that's great. We might not be able to have a pretty view or anything like that, but at this point I don't care, he doesn't care, we just want to be married, we just want to be together. So I'll probably do an update on that later if that ends up being the option that we take. But right now eloping is looking pretty good, because even if things get better by June and we're able to have the wedding as planned, we can still have the sealing and then the reception, and for the guests it will make zero difference. The only difference will be we were already married. And then if things get a lot worse, at least we're already married, and then we can push back the celebrations a few months or however long this takes to get over, and just have our celebrations then. So eloping's seeming pretty good right now. It's not ideal, it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to have this big hurrah all at once, being newly married, but life isn't fair sometimes. So trying to stay really positive about it. I've come to terms with it. I've pretty much accepted that at this point it's 99.99% not going to happen, but at least we have other options. We will figure out a way to be together, because we're just, like I said, not letting the universe keep us apart any longer, because that's just not fair. So yeah, I will update everyone on what happens, because at this moment our plans are changing daily as this virus gets worse and worse. We're still hoping for the best. We're still paying off the wedding. We're still keeping our hopes up that it will go to plan, but if it doesn't, we can postpone it free of charge and hopefully get married sooner, so there's less stress about having to be apart longer than necessary. On top of everything, I have 3 jobs. One of them I'm still working in fine. Another one, I'm a teacher at a university, which classes have now moved online. While I'm no longer required to teach online, I'm still getting paid to monitor my classes' discussion forums, so that's okay. I'm still getting money from that. And then I have another job where I'm a road safety presenter, where I go around to high schools around Victoria and present road safety programs. That so far I'm not getting any work from, because schools have had to limit their incursions and excursions, which is understandable. But I'm pretty stressed about not being able to pay for this wedding if it does happen in June. At this point, it's seeming like postponing it is the best choice. At this moment, 20th of March, we are still going business as usual. We have made no plans to change our current wedding plans. We will probably wait until May, a month before the wedding, and see if we see any improvement or any kind of leeway in the government restrictions, if they would be lifted or not by a month's time. So thanks for all of your support. I've gotten so many messages of support, so many people thinking of me at this time, even though I'm sure every single person out there is struggling with their own problems and disappointments at the moment due to this pandemic. But I'm so grateful for everyone who truly cares about me and has been supporting me throughout this whole planning process. I couldn't thank you guys enough that have been there for me. And especially thank you to my sister, who's supposed to be my matron of honour, that has had to, after getting emotional for a second, that I'm super grateful for my sister, who's my matron of honour, who despite living in the States has constantly checked up on me and made sure I'm okay during this whole stressful time. And even though her flights have been cancelled so far, and if the wedding goes ahead she won't be there, I'm so grateful for all the help that she's been. Honestly, did not expect to cry in this video, but it's been a trying time and I've been trying to keep all my tears in, so I guess they were bound to come out at some point. Out of everyone, excluding my fiance, my sister has been the most supportive, so I'm so grateful for her, even though it's looking like she won't be here for it. But obviously there's never a good time for a pandemic, but I just feel like this is literally the worst time possible, for me at least, for this to happen. So thanks for joining me on this little pity party. Stay tuned for my updates in the future and any other wedding planning videos. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram at Ashleigh Rants, and I'll see you next time.